Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to have a project. So let's go ahead and add a project in here. Brand new project. We'll call this one Okay, so now we have a new project here, and we'll go over to the Gantt chart, and you'll see that there's no tasks available for this brand new project. So what we'll do is we'll add one. And so now we have the first task here. And what we will do is, let's first adjust the column selector. We will kind of do that so we can see the Gantt chart here. Okay, so we could go through and we could, start from scratch and say, select a lot, and then we could go through and add another task where we might say, close on property, that kind of thing, and maybe we would set up a relationship. Let me show that. So the predecessors. So maybe we would then set up a relationship where we would say, okay, well, we need a finish to start relationship with the select lot. So we'll add that predecessor. Okay, and close it, and you can see it's starting to build the logic in here. But what I would like to do is, if I do have a template available, I'd prefer to just go ahead and use that template. So what we'll do is we'll go back to projects, and we'll say that for this new project, just do a kitchen renovation. So we'll say we're going to do a kitchen renovation and import this template. It's going to warn you and say, hey, it's going to overwrite all your tasks. We'll say, okay. So now we'll go back over to the Gantt chart and see that we've got some imported tasks here now. And it's kind of built all that out for us, the logic in there. I like to do this because it kind of starts me out with something to start with, and then I can go modify it as needed. Then also show duration. Let's show what that is. So here's the duration. You can change the durations as needed. For these, for example, you can say, oh, it's really going to take me 2 days to do this. You can adjust lead time, lag time, lead time. If you hit the lead time, it will just kind of push it over a little right there. And you can see if I just do it some more, it'll just keep adding, lead time on there. Then we'll also show the resources and the actions. I'll leave the comments off. So on here, the actions, you can, raise the task up or down. So you can move it up, move it down on here. Change the order that the tasks are in. The constraint, say for example, let's just add a task on here. So we'll say a new task, and we'll say example constraint. All right. So when you add a new task, it's going to default to the start date until you put relationships in, like predecessors. But just say that this task has to start on, March 19th. So we'll come over here and we'll edit the constraint, and we'll say that it must start on, March 19th. Okay, so here. So then you can see that's where that goes. So now it's going to start on March 19th now. We will now come over and talk a little bit about the resources. Okay, so say that you are going to remove old flooring. And now you need a resource to do that. Let's see, say it's a really big flooring and you need to use your crane. So we'll add the crane, and we'll confirm. So now for the task of removing the flooring, we're going to use the crane. Okay, so now I'll turn that off. I'll go over to the schedule now. Now on the schedule, the calendar view is it's the same information as in the Gantt chart as far as the tasks and when they occur, start and end dates, but it's presented in a calendar view. So now we'll add in the project that we just had. So we'll add it in there, and in this you can see all of your, let me remove this first. Okay, so you can see all your projects in one location. So say that you've got project 1, project 2, and project 3 tasks all happening on the same day. This will tell you exactly what tasks need to be done that day for each of the projects. But now say that you want to review only the resources. So you'll come over here, and we said we're going to use the crane for that removing the floor. So now we're going to filter to see only where this resource is being used. We'll hit apply. Oh, did I add it? No, I didn't add it. Okay, so we'll add it, and then we'll hit apply. Okay, so now we can see that we've already, on a previous video I showed where we added it to this task, which was part of a different project, project 2. Now we'll see where it is on project 3. So here it is here, project 3, remove the old flooring. You can see that that's where your crane is being used, right through here. Now where this becomes powerful is if you're doing, 17, 18, 37 different projects, and you've got limited equipment, you've got limited resources, employees, whatever it is. In this case we're talking about equipment, so, and we're talking about the crane that you have, and you get to see visually where is that crane being used. Are there any overlaps with where it's being used, so you can make sure that you're not scheduling it on the, trying to use it 2 times in one day when you can only use it once in one day, that kind of thing. So this is a very powerful tool where it helps you to see where your resources are being used and make sure they're not being overutilized. And now you can see how easy it is to build your Gantt chart, and you can go through and you can get really detailed. We talked a little about durations and lead time and lag time. You can really go through, think through the process of what it takes to get your job done. So what we'll do now, say that we will add in a project number 4. Okay, so now it's a brand new project. Let's say we're going to make a few more adjustments here. Let's say we're going to add the constraint in here. We're going to add a predecessor in here, and let's remove the constraint. Let it happen as soon as possible. Let us now add in a predecessor. Let's say that you got to have this as a finish to start. You confirm that. So now you've set up your process the way that it needs to happen. You've add in any lead time or lag time or anything like that. Now what we can do is we can go over to projects and save this now as a template. We'll call it this and hit OK. Now it's saved. Now we'll come over to this project here, and we will now see that your new template is there. We'll close. That's the only, your built-in templates, the ones that you make, are the only ones you can delete. And then we'll import this template that you just created here. And then when we go over and look at it on the Gantt chart, you can see that it's got, everything set up the way you've done it now. So once you set up your process one time, get it exactly the way you like it, exactly the way you want it, you can then replicate that over and over and over on other projects going forward. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please like and subscribe, and to start your free trial today, please follow the link in the description.